Another type of life cycle that you'll very frequently encounter as a business analyst is the project life cycle. Sometimes it's called a PLC, but usually it's just project life cycle. Projects are defined by the Project Management Institute, PMI, as a temporary group activity designed to produce a unique product, service, or result. I'll put emphasis here on the temporary aspect. Projects don't go on forever. They have a start and an end, which means that they also can have a life cycle. Accordingly, project life cycles describe the initiation, the execution, and the completion of a project. On technology projects, we typically have a structure that looks something like this. Let's take a look at each one of these parts in turn. Initiation at the top is at first, and that describes the collection of activities required to start the project. This usually includes things like defining the vision and scope of the project, identifying and sometimes hiring the project team, coming up with a high-level plan for the project, drafting a project charter, etc., etc. Once the initiation phase is complete, the project is generally considered in flight. The next three sets of activities are performed in varying amounts, but actually at the same time. Planning and design usually includes more detailed project planning. This includes the scheduling of tasks required to complete the project, but also things like resource planning. Who will be allocated to the project and how much of their time will be devoted to various activities, that kind of thing. This phase also usually includes the definition of business requirements and high-level product design, by the way. Execution is just what it sounds like. Systems development takes place here, along with system and user testing. Things like training and content development are also usually handled in this bucket of work. Monitoring and controlling, that's the category of tasks which is dedicated to managing the project, in short. This is primarily the work of the PM, but your status meetings also happen here. When you're looking at your schedule, making sure that you're lining up your analysis to-dos to make sure they happen by the end date, that's monitoring your part of the project as well. Remember, the three categories we just discussed, they're all happening concurrently at the same time. They're distinct categories of work, but they're not usually sequential. The final category is closing, and it contains all the activities that finalize the project. Things like preparing the system or process for implementation happen here. There are usually a bunch of presentations to management, all kinds of finalizing activities. It's worth saying that just like SDLCs, project life cycles vary substantially from industry to industry, from organization to organization, whatever. But having a good knowledge of various PLCs will help you gain perspective on your own company.